In a nation rebuilding from years of hardship, education is the cornerstone of hope. In 2019, the government of Liberia, with support from the World Bank, launched the Improving Results in Secondary Education project, Improving Results in Secondary Education. Today, we reflect on one of its most transformative pillars, Subcomponent 3.3, providing digital skills and competencies to Liberia's youth.
In furtherance of His Excellency Joseph Yuan Boakai desire and his digital transformation agenda, this is an extension of that initiative to demonstrate to our students and to our nation the seriousness we put to closing the digital divide. We cannot prepare a generation of adults that are coming up to rightfully lead our nation if we don't prepare them holistically. My agenda is to focus on ensuring that our students are well-read, they are technically proficient, globally competent when they leave high school. That when you graduate, we can be confident that when you progress to university level, that you have the requisite capacity to be able to thrive, to finish, and then join the job market. If we are doing that as a government, then we are preparing the next generation to take over the leadership of this country. We are deploying 156 schools with these computer labs, equipments that you see here today. No county is going to be left behind. 15 counties are included. The first batch is 77 deployment, currently ongoing, and will conclude on March 14th of this year. It is the intent that the first quarter of the year, all of these devices across the country will be delivered. In addition to that, we have trained 300 ICT teachers to be able to give instruction in ICT to our students. And as an extension of this initiative, one that is going to be supported through the government is also connectivity. We just don't want to give you digital literacy skills, but in that we need to include connectivity. So that's the next phase that will add to the deployment of these technical devices that you have received today.
Subcomponent 3.3 was born from a bold vision to equip secondary school students across Liberia's 15 counties with 21st century digital skills. From coding to basic computer literacy, the goal was clear: prepare Liberia's youth for a digital future. From the bustling streets of Montserrato to the quiet hills of River G, the Improving Results in Secondary Education project touched every corner of Liberia. Over 156 public secondary schools received digital equipment, teacher training, and curriculum support. Students who had never touched a computer began learning to code, create presentations, and explore the internet responsibly.
Unlike before, where teachers were using chalkboards, lecture based with no iterations, and so this platform has enabled us to do a lot. Our teachers are now able to do more effective learning with more iterations. Government now spend less on learning materials, some of those learning materials for the digital platform, and I say the digital platform are now being supported by the learning management system. Students are now able to use the digital phone, log onto the platform, and they are able to get their lessons, do their lessons, and submit it to their teachers. We have an automated background where we're able to see students who are using the platform effectively. Today we have a technology in the classroom. The teacher is able to sit in his spare room and send an assignment. He's able to tell the student to use an online books, and we can have visual learning happening. Most of our books are online, are textbooks for senior high, especially the STEM books. The science books are all online. The mathematics and physics, chemistry, biology books are all online this time. So the student has to just use their password when they are around the campus, because we have this small, something referred to as the see-through macro cloud box. It serves as a reservoir. It serves as a library where I'm able to log on. You're able to log on as long as you have been added to the digital classroom, the cloud classroom, and you are able to use your ID number or your identification pin, and then you're able to log on and have access to the lessons. Our teaching has been improved. We have enhanced teachers learning. We have enhanced student learning. Our teachers are also taking digital courses. I was at the TVET Center the last time where we were doing online training. We had our friends in Germany, a group of instructors and professional people, and they were teaching our teachers here how to teach TVET. When we spend a lot of money on getting teachers in Germany or some part of the world, that's not happening now. We spend less on that, though I know sometimes we have to support in-person training, but our teachers are now able to sit right at the professional training center, and they're able to log onto the internet, and thanks to the IRAS project that has opened that opportunities. We also have access to quality content. Unlike before, our content were not quality, though there was something substantial, but when I say not quality, I'm talking about there was no measuring line. We have so many content, standardized digital lessons across schools. So what school A is doing, school B is doing it. So what students learn at St. Teresa Convent was not what students learn at the Ingenito Gurich. Today it's not like that. Students in Basel High is learning the same thing that students in Harper Multilateral is learning. Also, I spoke about teacher capacity building. This has also enabled us to be more effective. Our teachers are trained to integrate technology into their classroom, into their traditional curriculum process. They are bringing technology presently as I speak to you. We will be rolling out a digital courseware for grade 1 to grade 3 at KRTTI, where our students now will be using the tablet, they're using their telephones, to log on to the platform. They have all of their lessons there. So we are able to appreciate technology, and also the parents are able to even check on the student performance in such a way when our students leave from here and go outside, they are able to do something similar to what students in the UK, students in the US, and in Ghana, Nigeria are doing. We also boost confidence in our teachers because of the ICT opportunities we've given. Unlike before, where teachers were not too confident, today they are confident. They have all of their curriculum on their phone. You can ask teachers today and say, today is June 2010, what will you be doing? They're going to tell you, say, look, today is June 2010, and this is where the class is, and those the attendance in the classroom. So we're able to even track teachers and student attendance. We're able to bridge digital devices. We're able to bridge the digital divide. Today, in the 21st century, where students in public schools in Liberia were being denied, this has been an opportunity where students today they're able to access more up-to-date 21st century digital skills. We are able to also reduce the inequality between students in urban area and in rural area. Under this project, we've also supported student engagement and motivation. So I can sit right in the classroom if I'm in grade 11 and my friend is also in grade 11. When there's a lesson giving, I'm able to engage my peers. I'm able to engage my friend. Also increase participation and reduce absenteeism. So students are participating not because you are absent today, so it gives you the right to not have the lessons. Oh no, this one it has afforded us a new trend. Okay, whether you are absent or so, you have your lessons coming to your phone. We'll be held responsible if you don't submit the assignment or submit your work on time, your quizzes on time. The system will hold you responsible, and that system will reflect to the teachers grading manual. There are big opportunities, and Liberia is getting there. Today we see all of our curriculum content are being synchronized on our phone. Students are excited about the technology, and things are changing unlike before. Moving to the place where we even use digital boards in our classroom to have a hands-on experience where we can appreciate. So these are the opportunities that this process has brought to us, bridging a digital gap.
Project was a major project in secondary education in this country. All of our secondary schools were given grants to be able to upgrade and to create ICT labs. That is a major achievement. Now all the senior secondary public schools in this country now have ICT labs, their labs are all set up, they have power, they have ICT instructors. So children who are in secondary schools in Liberia are benefiting from digital learning because of this program.
So another area that I want to emphasize that it was very important, though it may not directly be linked to access, it is linked to quality of education, is the digital learning program, the digital learning solution platform that we are establishing in all the existing government high schools. Accessing the electronic version of textbooks where there's no opportunity for a teacher to demonstrate laboratory applications. We bought solar and provide solar power and brought other digital learning devices, including open source learning materials, customized C3, macroclass C3 software that can allow them to navigate their way. They go to the identical platform and then they can be able to do a lot of laboratory simulations and what have you. And then while they are doing that, their skills, their ICT skills is being enhanced. So I think that another significant area was that it was the most novel intervention on the project, and we think it really made a tremendous impact and will continue to make that impact on a sustainable basis over the next 5 to 10 years.
These stories are echoed across Liberia.
Six, bacteria reproduce asexually by binary fission. 3, yeast are with cell wall, nucleus, and cell membrane. 4, yeast reproduces asexually by budding. Sexually transmitted diseases, STDs. 1, gonorrhea is caused by Neisseria gonorrhoeae and it is transmitted through sexual contact.
Our friends would like to say bravo to you guys for bringing out this program. Yes, this program is making us to learn a lot of things when it comes to computers. We learn fast because whenever we are learning on the computers, we are learning at the same time we are showing a video.
I want to say a very big thanks to World Bank. I want to say a very big thanks to MOE, Ministry of Education. I want to say big thanks to the government of Liberia. This is not easy. I can remember years back then we were in the classroom learning, but we were not seeing. But from the illustration that was done this morning, I observed that we were discussing a lot of things and I saw them. But seeing them, that don't give me the courage that I can make it. I saw the periodic table, the demonstration of the periodic table, and that gave me the confidence.
I observed that this program had offered us a lot of opportunities. Those days when we were in class, teachers gave notes on blackboard, and I can see at times they did it themselves because of the chalk. They would take the chalk and write on the blackboard. It brings a lot of embarrassment to us, but now we just come and sit and put our laptop on and research on any kind of a thing that we want to research on that will bring benefit to our nation.
Open a CV browser. Here's what will display for you on your monitor. When you see this display, you go on the far right. When you see the sign in, you click sign in. Everyone on your laptop should be like this. When your laptop is displaying like this, I'm going to put in your user, which is your number. At this point, you come down the password.
In our day, we were not used to a computer. We use post office to write letter. This is my first time in life to get a computer class. The computer class is now helping us. It makes us to get easy way of getting in our note and then giving us more idea. Anything we think of concerning our education, we'll go through it shortly and get answer. It makes everything easier for us. in our education sector.
We never knew that we can be able to find our note through this computer here. But since our instructor taught us how to connect to the C3, we did everything and we were able to connect with the ministry, and they provided our notes through this computer. So when we go through the notes, it helps us to read, do our video, and also help us to do assignment. This is my first time to experience it in school.
Many of us hear about how to boot computer or how to work on computer, even for you to write your new computer, but with the help of the computer provided by the Ministry of Education, we were able to learn how to check on computer, to learn how to write a boot computer. We never even know what we call one and go booting, which means the steps of booting in computer, and also the definition of computer, because there was no computer in our institution before, but with the help of Ministry of Education and the World Bank, we were able to have computer, which we are learning from today, and I'm so grateful for that. I appreciate them for that, and I encourage them that we will do more, that we will be able to have good learning system, because nowadays we are in the modern world that everything is on computer. So if you don't have the access on computer, you won't be able to learn the way you want to learn. So with that help, I want to thank you. I want to be appreciative to keep them doing what they have been doing. Thank you.
This is my first time entering the lab. It is my first time touching the computer. From my experience, I feel very comfortable in the lab. The few times I spent the computer also helped me. I would like to say many thanks to the Ministry of Education.
But the journey was not without obstacles. Poor internet infrastructure, inconsistent electricity, and limited technical support slowed progress in remote areas. Some schools struggled to maintain equipment, and others lacked trained personnel to sustain the momentum.
Firstly, I want to say a big thank you to the Ministry of Education, the World Bank, and that of the government of Liberia, for them being so inspiring to improve education in Liberia, especially introducing the e-learning program in Liberia. Despite with the good side, we still have some challenges that we think should be taken care of if it is registered. One, from the day the projector came, it's not easily connecting the computer. So previously, before the coming of this project or this equipment, the school managed to have purchased one projector, is what currently we are using in the computer lab. The next challenge is some of the computers are freezing. And to come on is a serious problem for us, and students need to access it. The school is overpopulated. Even the 20 computers are not much, and we're managing with it. But if some there again freezing, it's a problem for us. So at this juncture, we want to do a wake-up call to the ministry, despite the good side of the program, to see reason to address these challenges. Once again, thank you to the Ministry of Education.
And again, I will be very grateful to the ARAS grant for the great initiative in my school, where they were able to bring about digital education. And I see it as very impacting to the life of the students. Because since the start of this particular project, what I see is that I see student interest in the learning. How be it? Because I see students are often encouraged to learn at that moment. And since we started the particular process in CHMOE, both of our students are actually coming out. And specifically, they are interested in the computer, number one. Number two, they see learning with technology as part of learning. Because in the 21st century, there's nobody who's going to learn and not having the idea of operating just a simple machine, the computer. So it's actually helping. As a science teacher, I see it, and you know, that learning with technology as collaborative and integrative learning. So I see this in the lab of the students of CHUA, and that every child, every time they hit the campus, they want to enter the computer's lab. and when they hit the computer lab, what actually they enjoy is going to the different books, going to the different learning, and some of them are even maybe finding it fascinating, capturing the issue of the ICT component that was being built into the computer. So again, it's a very big, great initiative for almost every student in Liberia, specifically the government school. But I too also want to recommend to government, while it's true that probably it's just a startup process, but I also want us to take into consideration the idea of maybe the private schools, because again, we are all Liberians. So while it's true giving opportunity to the government school students, but I also see it very necessary that the government see it maybe like fitting to that some students in the private sector can benefit, because it's possible that private school administration may not have the opportunity to do this.
Firstly, let me say thank you to the Ministry of Education and Aras Grant for this initiative. It's welcoming, and it has helped in a lot of ways in improving the educational sector of our county, of our school, and our nation at large. What has happened over the time is that teachers and students have easy learning and teaching from the introduction of the digital lab that was brought in by Aras Grant. We have noticed that students learn a bit faster, because according to some of the teaching styles, students will take in more or faster from what they see. So the digital lab enables students to see those material from the textbooks through videos and through text, and also it creates that anxiety for them to use computer. Some of them having been their first time using the computer or the laptops, they are happy doing it. You see joy on their faces, and because of that, they are always interested in coming to learn more. Few challenges that we face with: one, the issue of the internet. Internet connectivity is one challenge that we face with. The system is not accessible when you are out of the lab, which make it difficult for teachers to plan a lesson or a quiz in time. So we want to recommend to the Ministry of Education to please place this system on the internet, or make the Wi-Fi coverage a bit wider, so that teachers can plan while they are at home, and students can also be able to access their assignment while they are at home, instead of coming to the lab first before accessing whatever that is being placed there.
And the Aras lab, which was established for the student to use the digital learning platform, has been mainly used by the senior student, the 12th graders, and the 11th graders and 10th graders have not been fully participating in the lab, although we register some of them on the e-learning platform. And the reason is the project, the e-learning are open at the beginning of the second semester, and the capacity of the students, we have approximately 550 students in the senior high division, 2 sections for each per class. And due to the huge number of students, it was advised that the 12th graders who were almost leaving because of the wires, we should be able to introduce them to basic computers, because almost all of them don't have the basic knowledge of computers. And because of the intensive training we're carrying on the 12th graders, and we never had any schedule for computer. Computer is not in our academic schedule, so we had to do extra arrangement after school hours. Based upon that, we couldn't teach all of the 550 students in the senior division. So your advisor, we start with the 12th grade we were leaving. Subsequently, we were going to include the 11th grader and the 10th grader who will be in 12th grade and 11th grade respectively. But then the administration would make appropriate adjustment and include computers in the schedule, which will allow us to be able to teach these students and improve their behavior skills. So students are saying they did not use the lab. These students are mainly 11th grader and 10th grader. And it's true that they did not use the lab, but the school have plans for them to make maximum use of the lab. But the only challenge we have is the size, the capacity of the lab, couldn't permit or to integrate all of them in the program.
They got a computer, we did a setup, did everything, but we now had the HDMI cable. So we're thinking as to whether we could work with all the cable, but then we got to know that the projector will not work with all the cable. So when the auditor came from finance, they told us, no, all schools go to buy this cable, whatever all schools are doing. So the school bought the cable, paid $20 a year for the cable, we bought the cable, then we set it up. We did a pre-test. We did our pre-test with the students and that of the teacher. And the pre-test tell us that our students, including our teachers, don't have computer knowledge. So with that background, the DO, the principal and I decided that we'll do some introductory teaching before going into the platform, because the platform is a very complicated platform that you don't understand. You don't have any computer that you can easily drain to or navigate your way to. So, but then later on, we did a setup, we also found out that when you put the projector on, when you lock on the module, it will tell you time ahead. The module will not open. It will only tell you that the time is ahead. Because of that, I set, because at the time when I received the teacher laptop, I set one of the student laptop time with the time at the time to make sure that it will work. But it will still tell me that time ahead. So we are not able to really go through the module. So we have been thinking as to how we can really set it up that we can go through the module. That's just the challenge here we face. So it's still telling us time is ahead, time is ahead. So I don't know the way through.
Recently, we were sent by the Ministry of Education to Calcutta to do a training on computer, and we were being trained, and then hopefully after the training, the computer was being distributed to us. So I want to say thank you to the ministry for the effort that they have made, that we're able to have our computer here today, and they will also be able to impart into the life of the children. It will give them the first-hand active knowledge to begin to know something about computer and get even know more about Excel, Microsoft, before even leaving the walls of high school. So we appreciate a lot the Ministry of Education and the IRS.
We resume with the students activities. The first stage that we started with, and we're mandated to train the teachers and be able to create student platform, a teacher platform on a C3, which we did that, and we trained our teachers, and from there we begin with our students on the introductions of the C3, and we have been training the students throughout the process, and we are very happy with the program. And students have been very happy, and teachers, and so some of our teachers was the very first time to touch a computer and to be trained to the digital learning process, and a lot of our teachers have been very happy of it. And again, we introduced it to our students, and some of our students, since they were born, it was the very first time seeing the computers, touching the computers, using other programs on the computers. They have been very happy. Even the rest of the other subjects and students are now beginning to really like it into the digital learning process in any other subjects. And every day I have been the computer teachers. I have been engaged on campus more often. Even students students has free times. They are always willing, and sometimes I can be here even at evening hours. The students will go and still come back. Even the junior high students have been wishing so that they can be included into the process. But this program will actually is mandated for the senior 10 to 12. So we are very, very happy with this program from the RI, and we are looking forward with continuation of the program, because right now the population of our schools is increasing on a daily basis. Yeah, the junior highs are willing to be part of it, and the senior high, we have a very huge number, and the computer here was given to the school only 20 pieces. We have more than 500 students at that section, so normally we have them by sections. Sometimes we go 45 minutes, and the 45 minutes was limited. We had to increase it to 1 hour, so we run the computer throughout the day from the morning to 6:30. So we are very, very happy with the program. But there are some challenges that we have faced as a computer teacher. And we are taught that we could only be able to run the C3, with the teachers and that of the students. But when we came to our utmost surprise that some of our teachers do not have the fundamental of the computer, and both of our students do not have the fundamental of the computer to only run the C3. So we had to start all over from the beginning. That is the introduction of the computer, try to teach the part of the computer, the software and the hardware of the computer, the basic part of the computer. So we have to start all over. So this is a challenge that actually we face, that we have to start from the beginning, coming to the C3, because the C3 is just a basic computer or program, software program that had to do with the e-portal system, wherein communication between the teachers and the students. So we instead the teachers will be able to translate the information to the students. The teachers had to have basic knowledge on the computer. That is how to be able to take their work, be able to upload them into the system. So we have 50 to 60% of the teachers still has problem. Yeah, they still have problem. So at the end, we at the computer teachers has serious problem. I have to do almost 80% of the work of the teachers and do 80% of the work of the students. So I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like exhausted to the whole process. And we need continuation, and we need serious support and serious challenges, to run this computer program. We also have to do with the internet service. They provided, the router, which we inserted the SIM card into it, and we are told by the ministries that all of our things should be done online. Yeah, which we have done, and sometimes we have to engage a school to help us to be able to provide data to run the program. And when you look at the GSM companies, they can consume much. We started with Orange. Orange actually gave us hard time. Sometimes we put something like $3,000 to $4,000, data before we go to sometimes 30 minutes the data over, and the students have to, like be online with other people. So when it comes to the internet issues, we need serious attention in our area. And we as a computer teachers too, we have the work running into the school, and the program have been added, and we are very happy. And sometimes we actually need compensation from the program as a computer teacher, because we have been here sometimes after our work. We had to go home, but because of the program now, it makes us to be on the campus throughout, even up to Saturday. Because of the engagement from the students, we had to provide a computer lab to the students. So we had to be here from Monday to Saturday throughout.
So this computer is actually helping us, including the students. Majority of them know how to even use computer. Based on recent lessons and recent studies that we have been conducting, the students are learning. They are learning, they know how to work on their computer, they know how to log into the C3, and know some basics or functions of the computer. And it also helps them to access their note. Majority of the time when they get the assignment, they come here, they know how to go through the WhatsApp to be able to present their note and also to be able to do assignment. So majority of them here, they have their account. Like we were taught to TTR that the students should learn how to log into the C3 and to be able to create their account. So, and we have done that. Majority of them here, they have their account and they can do assignment on it. And it helping them, it's very, very educated for them, and they are improving. I want to tell God, thank you for that. Firstly, I'm a voluntary instructor. There's, you know, the government said that they should send people who have the knowledge of computer to learn the program. If you don't have the basic knowledge of computer, therefore you cannot be able to go and learn the knowledge so that you can be able to come and present to the students. So, and I will form within that particular gap so that I can go to represent the school, so that I can bring it back to help the students find a common way out. And that's how I was selected. My friend and I, Ezekiel, but he just graduated from university in basic doing some things. He is not present here. So I'm a voluntary instructor, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy to help. And maybe the government can find a way to see how best it can be, or the ministry can find a way to be able to help the employer. It will be a plus. But I'm happy that I'm helping the society.
The time that we spend in the class, the activities that we have on the campus, like maybe Bible school, football game, like classes need. So the time it has not really been sufficient for us to come here and learn this computer. They pay more attention to what in the class.
But the main reason I can really use this is because the 12 girls are the ones who really use this. In the era, the way I look at the era is small. In the time, the 12 people can be in here, we can really get that time because after class, we can leave for about 3.
From these challenges emerged powerful lessons. Sustainability requires local ownership. Partnerships with telecom providers and NGOs proved vital. And most importantly, digital education must be embedded into national policy, not just as a project, but as a permanent pillar of Liberia's education system.
People from the Ministry of Post and Telecoms here. It would be good for us to review all sorts of different approaches that we can use. How can the Ministry of Post and Telecom, for instance, support? How can the regulator support the LTA? And how do we work with all of the private sector telecom companies?
The program started sometime in 2018-2019, where the budget was set, and when the years going by, we have increment in cost, increasing the cost of material. It had an impact. So, but because of that, we try to prioritize some of those activities that we can implement to ensure that we have a functional laboratory. But then we're not able to do the training because of budgetary constraint or limited budget to do the training. So that is outstanding. We have not been able to do that. But what we have done now is we were able to conduct training in the use of the learning management system. The learning management system, the teachers are able to teach in any subject, not only in the ICT curriculum. The ICT curriculum is there. We ask others, to those who are able to use it, to start using it, but it has not actually been piloted for students to have access to them or teachers. And some of the problem we have, because we need to use people who have digital knowledge, technical knowledge in digital program in ICT education. And then most of the teachers in the classroom, they do not have that knowledge. So we are recommending to the ministry to ensure that just as other courses are taught in a school, the ICT curriculum, they should provide teachers to teach those courses in a school for the benefit of students and the teachers who are not computer knowledge, so they be able to use the system effectively. From the initial stage of the program plan, they were directed to come on board with, because we have a technical working group that was set up, and this technical working group, the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication has oversight over ICT activity. They are part, they somebody to represent the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication from the very initial stage of this program. And then we have been working along with the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication with other relevant divisions within the Ministry of Education, like curriculum, special inclusive education, teacher education, in basic and secondary education. These are different institutions, divisions have been working with to make sure that the program was realized. Work with other institutions like network provider, Cellcom, Orange, and other network provider. We had a stakeholders meeting, and the stakeholders meeting that we had was chaired by a consultant that was contracted by the World Bank, who worked with us to make sure that we have a sustainability plan for this program. So in terms of partnership, right now as we speak, those institutions, they are working along to see how we can boost network in the various schools for students, for the schools to have access to internet. So those are things that we are working towards. It has been a successful process, and we're still working towards that. Even like the LTA, we also work with LTA, Ministry of Post and Telecommunication, other networks. The collaboration with Ministry of Post and Telecommunication, it was successful because they gave us my ICT policy and help us to also come up with strategies that speak to our national curriculum. The policy helped us to develop our strategy and the curriculum. Sometime in April, the LTA, and we came here and we visited some of our schools to see the kind of services they are able to advocate for us to get so that students can have access to internet. Because on the very onset of this program, before we started, the first thing we did was to do a baseline survey. And the baseline survey was able to help us to identify some of the things we need to do to make sure that we have a functional computer laboratory. So in terms of internet, because most especially in rural school, most of the schools don't have access to network.
Emphasis of the robust monitoring and supervision. Monitoring for not only the maintenance, the security of these equipments are the responsibility of the school leaders, and that has been driven home about if we're going to place these equipments here, they can't get legs and walk. You have to protect them in the schools, and that disciplinary actions will be taken if these equipments are in any way damaged or not maintained. If there are issues, let's work on them and make sure that what we've put here for the sake of the students and yourselves as administrators, so you have access to do what you need to do, rather than take your work out to maybe a computer person across the street to do it. So it helps with privacy and all of that, and confidentiality of the work that we do.
The second area had to do with the digital learning program. The digital solution program will bring digital equipment to the various schools. But if the regular internet is not there to power those devices, then the students cannot make maximum use of the devices on the campuses. In terms of sustainability approach, the government and the World Bank discussed, and there was some collaborative discussion here between agencies across government that are responsible for internet provision. For example, the Liberia Telecommunication Authority, the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication, so that they can be able to intervene to make sure that the internet is provided at the schools at all times. The government also tried to talk to the national institution responsible for power supply to see how best every urban and rural center that has senior secondary school should be able to have a national grid. We shouldn't just depend on alternative power supply, the solar or generator, but it should have a national grid. Fair enough and good enough for us The West African Power Pool CLSG project has been able to provide rural electrification for some of the counties in the far to reach Liberia, what we call the eastern counties, Grand Chile, Maryland. It goes through Nimba all the way going towards Grand Bassa. That's the good news. On the other side also, Cape Mount, bombing, the CLSG is there up to the border town across the Sierra Leone. So that provided a rural electrification opportunity. Okay. So now the government can focus on Masurado, Magibi, Bong, and maybe Lufa also with the national power supply, which there are some other projects, sister projects, either from the World Bank or African Development Bank that's also thinking about that. While you have constant power supply at all of our schools, the computer devices will be able to be active and fully utilized by the students. And then if the internet can be provided also by the Liberian Telecommunication Authority and then the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication working with the Ministry of Education, then that is also a good sustainability approach. But aside that, the ministry and the World Bank work together to develop a comprehensive sustainability strategy for that digital learning platform program.
Beyond the project lifespan, what we have done, as I said from the beginning, we have stakeholders engagement, and then we came up with a sustainability plan that has to do with infrastructure, maintenance, and system management, and security. So they were all part of those things. There are other things included, but we have a sustainability plan that is also with the World Bank for approval. So I'll have to check up to see whether they have already sent that document for the sustainability, and we also try to work along in that document with our national government and our ministry to see how they can make digital education part of the national budget for sustainability, and then we work with partners to see how they can support us. I want to base my emphasis on sustainability, that in future programs we should make sustainability plan a priority for this program, and we should have a strong partnership with people who can help us while government is preparing to provide funding, and we should have more professional development training for our teachers, because for the teachers to be really effective, they have to be well trained to interact with the students. So we want more professional development program to be provided to our teachers. And we have a system, the learning management system, that is customized to the Liberian system, and then we will continuously upgrade them with resources that will be beneficial to the students and the teachers. Realistically, we have to have a room for contingency for infrastructure gap and maintenance. We should have those things in our plan. Also, continuous community engagement. I know we can do more. The material that we have in the schools, the computers and other things, we all know that our school system, we have large classes, and those classes, everybody can go in the lab at the same time. Even though that those who can afford to get Android phone, they can also connect to the lab at the time. But if we have in the future, they can boost up the material within the classroom, and then maybe add one or two more C3 to each school, especially school with large population. All the students can, once they have gadgets and things or computers, additional computers, they are able to sit right in the classroom and conduct their training. But if, like, for instance, since we have some of the schools, they don't have teachers in all of the courses. We have one teacher teaching most of the courses, they say. And if you have this program in a school and they are institutionalized with capacity like computers and additional gadgets, they are able to teach 2 or 3 courses at the same time. While on the C3, you can assign course in the other classroom, assign it this way, and the students can be engaged, and you can monitor their activities just in there. And during the implementation of the activity, Component 3.3, we also appreciate the World Bank for the continuous follow-up and project monitoring meeting, because it helped to guide us, focus on what we needed to do. But not only that, we also able to build our capacity and through the policy academy, the World Bank Policy Academy that we attended, and then it makes us to understand more on what the implementation of this project looks like, and for the future, how can we work towards sustaining it. We learn a lot how to plan for our activities for the next future. I want to say thank you to the World Bank for boosting our system, for helping us to start a process of moving from traditional teaching to digital classroom. So I want to say thank you to the World Bank, and we are looking forward to more support from the end to make sure that we achieve to the letter to the things that we want to do.
As the Liberia Improving Results in Secondary Education project concludes, its legacy lives on. Thousands of students now possess digital skills that will shape their futures. The Ministry of Education, with support from partners, is committed to scaling these efforts. The digital horizon is no longer a dream, it's a reality within reach. In every county, in every classroom, the spark of digital literacy has been lit. Liberia's youth are ready to lead, innovate, and transform their communities. This is the story of the Liberia Improving Results in Secondary Education, I-RISE project. This is the story of Liberia's digital future.
So thanks to the World Bank, thanks to the team, and thanks to all those who have supported with your dam. Your dam has not been in vain. It has been helping us and it's helping us now. We have big dreams and we are certain that this foundation that you have supported us to start, we will show that it runs through the blood, the life, and the blood of every Liberian child, making that Liberian child digitally inclined and making him ready for a 21st century job. Thank you.